What was it that motivated you young guys to be involved in overthrowing governments, literally causing mayhem in the sub-region?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Please, I want you to listen to me carefully, sir.
Liberia, 13 counties in Liberia.
There are 13 counties in Liberia.
Manakil in Liberia.
There's only one highway.
From Bon County, Ganta.
From Bon County, Ganta.
Ata Monrovia.
Going up to Monrovia.
From Monrovia.
From Monrovia.
Ta Buchanan.
Going to Bichama.
Liberia
Liberia is all gravel road. And they have everything. Africans, let's open our eyes. All our lives we live in poverty when in fact we have everything that we need.
This is John Omar Dampha, a rebel fighter for Charles Taylor, a mercenary from the Gambia who has a very stern message for Africa, and he has zero regrets for fighting for Charles Taylor. Here is his story.
The Omar Dampha. Do swear.
Benkalilako.
I'll speak the truth.
Betonyale fola.
The whole truth.
Tonya damma.
And nothing but the truth.
Nte fem fola mem manke tonyade.
The journey of a Gambian mercenary, John Omar Dampha. Welcome to this interesting TRRC episode that unravels the fascinating life story of a Gambian mercenary whose military journey began at the very roots of the Gambian armed forces. This later led him to the complexities of the West African conflict zones. At the heart of this story is John Dampha, or John Omar Dampha, also known as Rambo in Liberia, a man whose character was shaped by the tides of history and the fortunes of military service.
Mr. Dampha, what are your full names?
Dampha Tony Kontongo Mumuniti.
Omar Diouf Dampha.
My name is Omar Diouf Dampha.
Are you known by any other names?
Liberia ka John Dampha.
In Liberia, they call me John Dampha.
And are you also called by another name?
No, these are the names I know about myself.
How did you metamorphose from Omar to John?
Laitela ko ya ke yedan kuno nyaade le kabo Umar kana Jones.
Yalon kabrim be Liberia na operation name la ngoti ka ninko Umar mol balo nako manka Liberia noti.
Well, when I was in Liberia, that was my operational name, because if I say Omar, a lot of people will know that I am not a Liberian.
And it was important for you to disguise your nationality.
And silang iti akumate ite ile purika je ko kela banku ya nyi faling.
Ya manka faling oti.
No, it's not changing it.
No, it was necessary. It was important
for
your nationality not to be revealed.
Yes, I did it because of that.
Okay. In fact, most, if not all, of the Gambians that served in Liberia at that time under the NPFL or so forth took Liberian names.
Jamal mi alon ko tara Liberia eke todo leta Liberian tolni.
Yes, we were all like that there.
So Omar Diouf Dampha, John Dampha, or Diouf are all names by which you are referred to.
Silanga kamuta Omar John Dampha, Omar Diouf.
Yes, they are all my names.
He joined the Gambia National Army, which was established in 1984 as one of its first members, thus forming the cornerstone of the country's defense ambition. His early involvement granted him significant advantages, particularly during the brief but very impactful Senegambia Confederation, which emerged after the failed 1981 coup led by Kukoy Samba Sanyang, but we will get to Kukoy later in this episode. This coup was squashed by the Senegalese armed forces, which also paved way for a unique political and military union between the Gambia and Senegal in 1982, known as the Senegambia Confederation. The Senegambia Confederation saw the creation of three standing armies: the Senegalese Army, the Gambian Army, and the Confederal Army, the latter being a joint force serving on a rotational basis. Service in the Confederal Army was a coveted position, offering pay and allowances far exceeding those of the National Army. Our protagonist, John Dampha, was fortunate to serve nearly 2 years within this elite battalion, earning him 5 times his regular salary and gaining him invaluable experience in a multinational military operation.
What's your date of birth?
20 June 1964.
20th June 1964.
Where were you born?
Jara Kanakunda, LRR.
I was born in Jara Kanikunda in the LRR region.
Tell us about your education.
Primary school ke Pakalinding Primary School.
I attended primary school at the Pakalinding Primary School.
Proceed. Pakalinding Secondary Technical School.
From there, I went to the Pakalinding Secondary Technical School.
And you finished in 1980?
1980.
Yes.
What did you do after 1980 when you finished?
1980.
Nata taran yen tola men Omar Diouf. Plumbing contractor Martinu, Gambia Plumbing Company.
The man they named me after, I went to him. He was a plumbing contractor called Omar Diouf.
What did you go there to do?
Tata jayen karandi plumbing la.
I went there for him to teach me the art of plumbing.
The trade of plumbing.
The trade of plumbing, okay.
And later, you left his company, correct?
Yes, I later left that company.
And you enlisted into the Gambia National Army. Which year was that?
The selection of 1984, but
the selection was done in 1984.
85 lenga training started on the 2nd.
We started training in 1985 on the 2nd.
Of which month?
Karjuma. January.
And when did you finish training?
4 months later training.
We did 4 months for the training.
So that would take you to April 1995, correct?
April 1995.
Yes, that's what happened.
Where were you deployed upon completion of training?
Tata jele for tata ina GNA for August 27th.
I was with the GNA till August 27th.
Same 85.
In 1985.
In 1985.
Yes.
Another selection of another Confederal Army.
Then I later went and joined the Confederal Army.
And where were you stationed?
Naran Samba headquarters, Bakau, opposite Zandam camp.
They took me to the headquarters in Bakau, opposite the Zandam camp.
In 1996, you had the opportunity to go for some training abroad.
In 1996, training
I Naran Samba Senegal training.
Yes, they took me to Senegal for training.
On what?
Training of
The type of training we had there was various.
What did you specially focus on especially?
Mine and explosive current.
Yes, we learned mine and explosives. And we also learned how to construct bridges where, in wartime, where there is a war, how to cross places with bridges. We also did a commando training there.
And when you finished your training, where were you deployed?
Lanka bari pare ta training na yal samba muntole.
Mutana back to Confederal again.
I came back to the Confederal Army again.
And did you return to your parent unit later?
Silang imurunta ila bululal.
Ebulu inata muru ila soldier kafuba nyintole bang.
Amurta headquarters again.
Yes, I went back to the headquarters again.
And what happened after that?
Silang mule nata ke wakola.
Ninga kilo back in 90.
If I can remember, in 1997.
September, another move back to GNA again.
In September, I went back again to the GNA.
2 years like a Confederal.
I spent 2 years at the Confederal unit.
And then?
Okola.
Another tragedy.
I was there.
Inatang Nsamba Farafenye.
Then they took me to Farafenye.
What year?
Sanju Malewoti.
1989.
That was in 1989.
Mr. Dampha, you seem to be going back in terms of the years. We have gone as far as 1997. When you were deployed back to the Confederal Army. And then in 1997, September, you were redeployed to your parent unit.
It should be 87, not 97, sorry.
Okay. All right. All right. In fact,
be 87. Okay.
In fact, yes, there was no confederation in 1995, 1996. So let's take it back. You were deployed, posted to confederation in 1985-86, right?
Yeah,
December confederation.
Up to 87. 87
okay.
Yes, up to 87. I left that place in 1987.
Okay, so 1987 you were returned to your parent company.
1987 nate Murundi last sojar.
Murundi back to GNA.
Yes, I was taken back to GNA.
And you discharged from the army in 1990.
Natabo sojar kunna 1990.
1990 langam from the army.
Yes, I left the army in 1990.
You only did 6 years.
Sanji Woro.
Sanji Woro droneke.
5 years.
Wala Sanji Lulu.
5 years, huh?
Sanji Lulu.
January 1995 to 1990.
January 1995 kata 1990.
What did you do when you left the army?
After completing 5 years with the Gambia National Army, Dampha's career took a dramatic turn. In 1990, he was recruited by Suwandi Kamara through a third party, launching him on a new and perilous journey into Liberia, a country embroiled in civil war. This transition marked the beginning of a long winding path through the volatile landscape of West African mercenary life. Here again is John Omar Dampha as he narrates his very intriguing story as a rebel fighter in Liberia.
Since I left the army, I was just sitting down without a job.
And then?
Okola?
The same 1991.
Well, I had a niece called Dudu Sanyang. He came and found me in my compound at Tanje. He told me, Swandi Kamara. He told me that there was somebody in Ivory Coast called Dr. Mani. He said he wanted to have ex-servicemen. He has a company and he wants those people to work for him. But I was not ready to go. But because of my niece, because we were very well used to each other, and there was a big respect between us, then I later decided to join them.
Remember when I said we will get to Kukoy Samba Sanyang later. The man who led the failed coup in the Gambia in 1981. Remember that? Now we're going back to that same man, Kukoy Samba Sanyang, also known as Dr. Mane in Liberia, Dr. Mane in Burkina Faso, Dr. Mane in Libya, and perhaps Dr. Mane in Ivory Coast. Dr. Mane had a recruiter in Gambia called Suwande Kamara. I'm sure people in Sierra Leone are familiar with the name Suwande Kamara because he testified against Charles Taylor. So John Dampha and Suwande Kamara arrived in Liberia the same time.
And this Dr. Mane, is he known by another name?
Silangin Dr. Mane todo baleka kumandi minna.
Kabrin tabalon na ika fume Dr. Mane kabrin to federal Liberia da ngaron ko Kukoy Samba Sanyang.
He's initially we call him Dr. Mane, but when I arrived in Liberia, that's the time I came to know that he is Kukoy Samba Sanyang.
And Kukoy Samba Sanyang of the 1981 disastrous coup attempt in the Gambia.
And ngin kude Kukoy Samba Sanyang wolom ni 1981 coup d'etat min ketanunjam.
It's the same person.
What kind of company were you told he had?
Te ngin company si fanyade le yew mi fe kate wala soto.
Suwande Kamara mbarendi wala foro Dudu Sanyang de le Dudu Sanyang.
As my nephew told, as my nephew told me, the late Dudu Sanyang
afonye ko komi ngai lopitano le soto.
Told me that the man has hospitals.
Wala feta molel men yalan ko bekala ex-service manoli.
He wants to enlist people who were ex-servicemen. So he wants people who should be Gambians.
Did you go alone?
No, I didn't go alone.
Who did you go with?
I went along with Suwande Kamara.
The late Dauda Nyasi Tata Nyola.
The late Dauda Nyasi.
The late Lamin Dabo Tata Nyola.
The late Lamin Dabo. And MM Koli.
I hope MM Koli is alive.
Yes, MM Koli.
Yes, he is alive.
Okay, and where did you start your journey from?
Langalang in Talia kumasi muntole.
Tata ni Zigansor.
We went via Zigansor.
Kata Tambakunda.
And went on to Tambakunda. We joined a train at Tambakunda and went to Mali.
Bamako?
Bamako.
Yes, where we were staying, that area is called Bamako.
And then?
And from Bamako?
From Bamako, we spent the night at Bamako. Then the following day, we joined a vehicle and went to Burkina Faso.
Where in Burkina?
Second capital, Bobo Julasu.
We went to their second capital called Bobo Julaso. We left Bobo Julaso. We took a bus from there and went to Ouagadougou. Where we based was called Avenue Morinaba.
And thereafter?
That's where we were based. All that time we have not yet met Kukoy.
Dr. Mane from Majede.
We didn't see Dr. Mane up to that time.
But one day,
they came to me and told me that the man they are talking about, let's go to him.
Nata blood also to Burkina Faso barrel melonko barrel expensive tobacco.
There was somewhere in Burkina Faso a very expensive bar. They took us there.
Expensive or extensive?
No, buy coming a buying of Fenketa Bakele.
A Fenketa Nyadi, everything is in that bar.
So
what is everything?
Niko Kobe Munlamut.
Barrel melonko Niko Domoro Nini Fengol Jamal Sierra Leonian.
Well, it's in terms of food, you have a lot of things, food and a lot of things there. So when we went there, they said this bar belongs to him. But I said somebody who they said was in Ivory Coast. How can he have a bar here? Is this something? Is this something very clear? But even there, we were still unable to see this Dr. Mane they are talking about.
2 weeks
We spent 2 weeks at Burkina.
The third week,
in the third week, they said, now we are going to Ivory Coast. The plane we boarded, when we were going on board the plane, our bags were searched. After we sat down on board the plane, we saw a man come into the plane, a fair-colored person, followed by his security men. They said, this man is the man called Charles Taylor. I said, I said, then today this place will be, something will happen here.
Why did you think so?
Why? What do we have with Charles Taylor? So at that point, we cannot disembark from the plane. That's how the plane took off.
Between Ivory Coast and Liberia border.
It went and landed between the Ivory Coast and Liberia's border.
But of course, this was the time of the NPFL.
NPFL.
Yes, this was, yes.
And this was just 2 years after the NPFL was launched.
1 year.
1 year, because it was, yes, they started in 89, but the official launch is 1990 from Nimba County.
Yes.
Proceed, please.
We went at night. We traveled only at night.
Who funded your travel?
What all we spent, Swandi Kamara was responsible for all our expenditure.
So Swandi was a recruiting agent also.
Yes.
Proceed.
That's how we formed a convoy
from Nimba County.
From Nimba County. We ran like that until we went into Bong County. The time we arrived at the Bong County, bullets were raining down like how rain comes from the sky. I said, what is happening here? And we are, at that time there was a ceasefire. I said, during a ceasefire, bullets are raining like this. Then if there is no ceasefire,
Mr.
Batudamandi, ni emem fonka kana sorle ni idia mutanna dia mo kandorong molta moila. Where iko ceasefire be caring kidikeso be sanjijila. What on ninkelo be caring munebekela. He said that during a ceasefire, if bullets are raining on people, now when there is a war, what's going to happen? Then they took us to Yankuba Samate's house.
From Badabujang, Salikenya, Nimangina.
He's a Gambian. I think if I can remember, he's from Salikenya. Then I said to myself, oh, on the whole, in Liberia here, you have Gambians here. But up to that point, we are still unable to see Dr. Mane.
Yanks, what was his name?
Yanks.
Well, I gave it away, sorry. But what was his full name in Liberia?
You can find Yanks, General Yanks.
They call him General Yanks.
Was he Smith? Was he Smith?
Smith,
yes, he is also called Smith.
Yes, proceed, please.
We were there.
But
they also realized that we are ex-servicemen. And they said we should be taken to a place called Kari. It's a place where they have cattle and many other animals which are reared in that place. We went there and found Mustafa Jiba there. He's the man who was in charge of that place.
What was his Liberian name?
Liberian community.
Mustafa Macaroni.
They call him Mustafa Macaroni. We spent some few days there also. But Liberia, there is one thing about them. Before we came to know about the place, we were nearly killed by hunger. Because there is only one type of food there. If you have lunch, you will not have dinner. And even their normal time, that's what's the system there. But small things that you can eat around are plenty. Because they are sufficiently endowed. We were at Mustafa's place. One man came there and we were told that this man is Kukoi's deputy. They call him General Abulai Ba.
Short and strong?
Yes.
Yes.
Inata for mu Kukwe Sambasanyan deputy.
They told us this man is Kukwe Sambasanyang's deputy.
How many Gambian generals did you have there?
Ali Gambian generals so Gilles
follow General Mansiade.
When we initially arrived, there were not many generals.
Bodyguard.
At that time, if there was a general, I think he was Charles Taylor's bodyguard. They call him Jerry Coley.
And Jerry Coley was General Jackson.
Yes, Jerry Coley was General Jackson.
Yanks too, wasn't he a general?
Yes. And later on, Yankuba also became a general.
And Ablaiba also was a general.
Ablai is 3-star general.
Ablai was a 3-star general.
Lieutenant General.
So,
how about Mustafa Macaroni?
Mustafa was a lieutenant colonel.
Mustafa was a lieutenant colonel.
Gambians ruled Liberia.
Well, if the truth comes out, Gambians were very powerful in Liberia. Wherever you have serious trouble, if a Gambian is not there, then you will not go. That's how we were there.
General Ablaiba.
This General Ablaiba.
Grand Bassa.
He told Mustafa that we cannot remain there. We have to go to Grand Bassa.
Grand Bassam?
Bassa, yes, in Buchanan.
Grand Bassa in Bichama. They took us to Bijama.
But Omudunta 1990, because 91 and Dunda 92 kono sign.
Now we were in 92 at that time.
At this stage, have you already been integrated into the NFL? Or NPFL, right?
NPFL.
Yes, at that time we were in the middle of things.
What rank did you attain at the NPFL?
Initially, I was just a fighter.
For rank operation rank.
If I was given a rank, it was an operational rank.
Which was?
I was a captain.
Which was a captain.
You led a company.
That's how we were.
Documents.
They came and took our documents.
Up to this time, have you met Kukoi?
dan fo wato kono fo yi ku kay ali ku koy jele
up to ñu wato même Dr. Mane dun dolo ma ñaar.
Up to that time, we haven't seen Dr. Mane.
Did you willingly enlist?
silang foite kabari ibeta kan it fangole sontale ba pour eta
because we were already in the middle of things. At that moment, you cannot refuse. Because the way Liberia was, because how things were going on, Gambians held many positions there. If you come to Nimba County, where we entered through, Colonel Mfamarakoli was responsible for that area. If you go to Lofa, General Jallo was there.
What's name?
Tondi.
He's from Demban.
Did he have a Liberian name?
A Liberian to
Mustafa Jallo.
Mustafa Jallo.
Do man kala atala ngamra Mustafa Sanya ne mai fo Sane le mbay don't know.
I'm not sure
General Jallo.
Whether he was Mustafa Sanyang or Sane, but they call him General Jallo.
Wala marta Lofa la.
He was the guy in charge of Lofa.
By the
time when we went into Liberia, to come out of that country was really difficult. If you are a stranger and you happen to go in, and the time you were going in, it was late at night. And daybreak, you see yourself in the country, and Gbarnga was in the middle of Liberia. I think they were not sure of us, or there was no trust. That's why they decided to take us to Grand Bassa. Unfortunately, before 2 months, Ukoi came from Ghana. I cannot forget that day. That was the day I set eyes on Kukoi. Oh, I said to myself, the man they call Dr. Mane, so this is the person. In the whole of Liberia, they only call him Dr. Mane. They don't call him Kukoi. That's the time we sat down with him and had a meeting. That's how we all joined. As we all joined.
But what did he want from you?
What we found them doing was they helped Child Stello in fighting. When they were ready, they come to the Gambia. But at that time, Jawara was the head of state.
And you agreed to that enterprise?
Yes.
Okay, and you continued to participate in fighting in Liberia, isn't it?
Yes, but before the fighting itself, now how we were there, that's how they came to know. They knew that we were old soldiers. They said we should go to Cobra Base. That was Charles Taylor's advanced training base. Before we attacked Monrovia.
But that was a base shared with Foday Sankoh, was it?
But the old landing Foday Sankoh fanang dabe yele.
Foday data auto.
No, Foday was not part of that. I have never seen a Sierra Leonian there. I held the Quran and swore. And this is Allah's name. I will tell the truth is better than telling lies.
This is a very important point, perhaps for other reasons, but proceed.
We went to
Cobra Base. Because people were taught by Liberians But when we arrived, they said we should take over the camp from the Liberians. It was himself, late Dudu Sanyang, late Dauda Nyasi, Koli,
late Lamin
Dabo,
and Swani
Kamara.
And you are all ex-servicemen?
And we were all ex-soldiers.
So boys all train.
And we were there training the boys.
Before 1992 Keloema.
Before the war started in 1992. Those who don't know will think that it was Charles Taylor who attacked Monrovia. But I held the Quran. What I saw with my eyes and what was said. Komok. The problem came from them.
Because 15 gate.
Because 15 gate is at a place called Habel. If you leave that place, you go to Monrovia.
15 gate be
15 gate was in the hands of the Ecomog.
Massacre in Habel.
So how can rebels come from Monrovia and come and kill people at Habel? They said it was Charles Taylor.
In 92
This is what triggered the 1992 war. But it was really tough.
Covering 15 gate.
Starting from 15 gate.
Red light table.
We fought them until we took the place called Red Light from them.
Vannersville table.
We took Vannersville from them.
New Georgie table.
We took New Georgie also from them. We took a lot of places from them.
But do you realize that some Gambians were injured in that fighting?
Gambian Jamal Baramatanu Wokelo.
Some, not many.
Gambian Dantang Baramatanu Wokelo.
Gambians don't fight in Liberia. If anybody tells you that,
Liberia, I wouldn't lie to you. If
Gambians tell you they were fighting in Liberia, no.
Freeport.
They were there, but based at Freeport. We see them.
One platoon was involved in fighting, and Captain Kambi was injured.
It could be, but I have not seen them.
But all these things are interesting, but let's move to the more important points. You served in Liberia until 1994.
Liberia for 1994, Samuel.
Yes.
And then what happened after that?
Barnisia ko bonyenga point dolo soto mbe meng declare for la pro meng keta pro jama salongo nyam.
I want you to forgive me. There is a point which I want to declare here so that people will know about it.
Yes.
On 1992,
in the war in 1992,
bring a Ecomog defeat.
When we defeated the Ecomog,
jet fighter tankam.
They took jet fighters against us.
Liberia lenga cluster bomb.
It was in Liberia that I saw a cluster bomb. I've never seen it in my life.
Wouldn't cluster bombs be illegal?
Yes, I saw it. They drop it along with a parachute.
Just like
We saw some of them which didn't explode, just like a barrel. Because in Liberia you have many swamps, a lot of water. Where it falls down, if it is in water, it won't explode. I saw it with my eyes there.
So in
1992,
Ghanaian Ecomog,
the Ghanaian members of the Ecomog, they are the people who went to Bichama.
General Babe Daming,
where General Ba was,
documents so battle Bruno.
He was having our documents.
Ghanaian documents so
they took over your base.
Yes, they took over the base and captured our documents. Those documents were the documents sold by Ghanaians. And that's why they said, oh, Gambians are still fighting for Charles Ledo. And that was the time they sent those papers in Jawara's time, saying that we've all died. And our deaths were announced here, and they did the necessary things for us.
You mean your family did the necessary things for you?
Yes, they did everything because they said that I was already dead. But this was during Jawara's time.
And later?
Then from 1995.
From 1995. It was the time when Kuko said, let's come to the Gambia. But by that time, we were tired in Liberia.
Why?
Because Kukoi, if you see him this year, before you see him again, it takes a long time. Whether we were alive or dead, he doesn't care. He's always by himself.
But it was said that the Gambians controlled the executive mansion.
They said
that the Gambians controlled the executive mansion.
Yeah, that was true.
Yet you were suffering in Liberia.
The reason why I said we suffered, however long a stick stays in water will not be able to transform into a crocodile. Well, as enjoyment. Well, if you talk about enjoyment, really,
you enjoy.
Yes. However, the war was going on, but we also enjoyed.
Special forces.
We were all among the special forces.
10 bodyguards, more than that is also.
If you want, you can have more than 10 bodyguards. And you can go to anywhere you want to go. Sometimes they even hire me. Because anywhere at a ghetto in Liberia, when they say John or Rambo, they will give me away.
So you also became Rambo?
Yes.
And Yangs was one of those that controlled the executive mansion.
Yangs fanang dabi executive
mansion. Yes, that happened because Charles Selo went to Ghana for a meeting.
Robin White ka interview no.
If one can remember, Robin White interviewed him. And said to him, I am at Banga. Can you hear a generator, the now sound of a generator? Really, he was not at Banga. He was at the border.
Every coast Liberian border.
Every coast and Liberian border. Because on that at that time,
generals, eight generals.
8 generals. They connived. They came and burnt down our mansion. They took away all our guns. The things they cannot carry, they burnt them. But at that time, Charles Taylor was in Ghana.
Which year was that?
It was...
Was this part of the negotiations for the Accra Accords?
I think it was the same time.
You must have been there, Mr. Chair.
So I signed.
Now, when the mansion was burnt down, they wanted to advance and come to the area where we were. When they heard that place there are Gambians there, they went back.
But
on that day also, I saw
the 3-star general.
the person we call a 3-star general. Well, on that day, he was afraid. He said, what are we going to do now? Let's go and surrender to the economic forces.
My dead body.
I said to him, over my dead body. Maybe somebody will come to testify here who will say that, yes, this happened. I said to him, we die is better than handing over ourselves to the ECOMOG soldiers. But later on we tried until we took Banga from them. When Charles Taylor returned, that was the time when he brought us closer to him himself. We were his guards. Because he didn't trust anymore his own people. It was us who were guarding him now, Gambians.
Yes, and in fact some of them, like Youngs, later became ambassador.
Charles
Taylor's ambassador to
Charles
Libya.
Taylor ambassador to Libya.
Right?
Yes.
So you guys wielded a lot of authority in Liberia.
A
lot of experience.
You
became battle hardened. You also became Rambo. And you decided to come to Gambia.
That's true.
Tell us what happened when you came.
So when we came back, when I came back, and before that, I took a Quran. Well, when Allah wants to do something, it happens. Sometimes we blame people. But whatever Allah destines for a person will always happen. I have one brother, Baba Job's younger brother, Sirif Ba Job. He said, younger brother, I said, Nam. He said to me, Kukoi is trying to take you people away. But when he takes you to the Gambia, he will betray you. But I didn't heed his word. That's how we came. But how we came, because we had no documents. Well, I don't know how he did this. But he tried and made available to us Senegalese ID cards, which were in the form of a booklet.
With the flag, the colors of the flag running through it?
Yes. We all traveled with those documents.
With your own pictures affixed on it?
Yes, all every man's pictures. I don't know how he got that from the Senegalese authorities, but I don't know. I forgot one thing also. It's also important for people to know. When we were in Liberia, what really angered me later, I see Casamas rebels coming to Kukoi. He was dealing with them.
Yes.
Yes.
In Liberia?
Yes, they come all the way to Liberia. I saw that many times.
What kind of dealing were they involved in?
But they were doing, what they were up to was not clear to me. But the moment you see them, you will know that they are not Gambians, they are from Casamas.
How do you know that?
They themselves say this. They said they are Kasase. That's the time when we know that. Then Kukoi has a hand in the Casamas. Allah created a human being. A human being is not something, is not a joke. If you want to play with human beings, you will never have peace, you yourself.
Okay, you came to Gambia.
Shilanginata na Gambia.
Tan kabrin nata Gambia.
When we came to the Gambia,
Tala nyafulati.
I'll told Jelalum.
Sorry.
we were divided into two groups.
Sia talakatu dolbenung Tambakunda.
We were many because some were stationed at Tambakunda.
Suwandi la group.
That was Swandi and his group.
Dolbenung Kaula.
We were at Kaula.
All of you were from Liberia, or there were some who were co-opted from other places?
Liberia wala ali modo dundinyo alkonole wa
Liberia but
we were all from Liberia, but when we reached Kaula,
the late Ablai Sankoh.
The late Ablai Sankoh. Some were Gambians, but I don't know how he mobilized those people.
Were they also ex-soldiers?
No, they were not soldiers. What I know.
What was going to be their role in your enterprise?
Well, what I thought for bringing those people into the country, I don't know. I have never known that they have been soldiers.
In total, how many were you?
Well, we were a little. We were less than 22 people.
That was in Kaulach, or both Kaulach and this place, and Tamba, whatever the name of the place, put together?
Wala mol minube Kaulach, wala fo minube Kaulach, aning minube Tamba, ni albe kafunyo.
If you add all of us, we were less than 20 people. Well, those who were at Tamba were more than us.
Okay. Did you have any weapons?
No, we didn't have guns.
So this was whose government in Gambia at the time?
Former President Yahya Jammeh.
It was Yahya Jammeh's regime.
So he wanted to overthrow Jawara, that failed. He now wants to overthrow Yahya Jammeh.
Another murum kote kalafika ya Jammeh fanan kudeta.
That question is very good. But I can say something because I can say something about that too. When Yahya succeeded in his coup d'etat, Alstelo himself told the Gambians, now you should go home. Because what you wanted has now happened. Now you can go home. Whether it was Chalcelo himself who came here, but our leaders were the people who came. And I told them before that, those of us who came from the Gambia recently, we ex-soldiers, if things should be done rightly, we are the ones who should go because we know the Gambia. But they didn't agree to that. When these people's coup succeeded, I saw their pictures.
Okay, former President Jammeh.
Former President Jammeh.
1 year 6 months
I spent 1 year 6 months with him at the camp. The story building where he was staying was behind me. They called the place Yamatoñ. But we knew him as Kanilai. I didn't know his name as Yaya.
Okay, Yankuba Toure.
Yankuba Toure. I know him. I know him. When I was leaving, if I remember, Sana Sabali, he was a recruit. Edward didn't join the army in my presence.
The other man, Haidara.
I don't know him.
In Liberia.
When I saw their pictures in Liberia, I said there are two people here who I recognize, Yankuba and Sana. And they said this man is called Jammeh, captain. I said, but when I was leaving the army, there was no lieutenant called Jamme. But saying that he left the Zandam and went to the army, that didn't find me in the Gambia. This is why I was unable to recognize him. I saw that picture before we left Liberia. But if things were done rightly, that's the way it should have happened. But our leaders forced themselves to come.
Who came?
Well, if I can remember, those who came, Domingo came.
Who's Domingo?
The late Domingo.
The late Domingo.
What she say from Nyomi?
What she say?
Mod Sise from Nyomi. He was the guy who decided to stage that coup d'etat in 81. But he ran out. And the late Iko Atodu? Abdu Kumbasar.
All of these people were generals.
Yes, all of them were generals. But when they came, what they left here with, we didn't know.
But if you have rebel generals coming to lieutenant head of state, obviously it's an unholy combination. Okay, things didn't work out. And you resolved to come and overthrow the government of the Gambia.
Yes.
And this was in 1996.
1996.
Yes,
so
96.
you were in Kaolack, and you have another group in Tambakunda.
And yes, those people at Tambakunda, we had that they were already arrested. So the ones who were in Kaolack, which was us, we attacked the Farafenya camp. Myself,
Abiro
Demba,
late
Ablai Sonko,
Balo Kante, Ramo
Jiba, Kebasano, I think that's it.
Yeah, the Invincible, the late
Invincible.
Yadram.
Even Invincible is late.
Invincible
He died in the jail.
Oh, may his soul rest in peace. You were 7.
Yes.
And you came to Gambia without weapons.
Yes, we had guns. But they were guns manufactured by our blacksmiths. It wasn't good. Not good at all.
So how did you manage?
It's just like council. We were used to fighting. May Allah forgive us. Huh? What we saw with our eyes in Liberia. Well, what I can do is to give thanks to Allah. So that so today I see myself sitting like this. Well, that's great thanks to Allah. Because where I was, if I happen to die there, it can nothing can be said about it. Well, it is Allah who takes care of His creative. Whatever Allah says, that's what happens.
Well, if you are invincible, you can dodge bullets.
But you see, fighting, people think that it is arms that do the fighting. Yes, true, arms participate in fighting, but fighting is done with the heart. The time we were fighting against jet fighters, wherever we didn't go, If you have Liberians there, they will run away and leave the whole place. The sound of the jet fighter, only the sound has made many pregnant women to deliver. No, fighting is not only weapons. It is with bravery.
But you had jujus Liberians didn't have.
Yes, you have very, very good jujus. If somebody tells you, you might deny it. If somebody shoots you with an RPG, somebody who is holding a cow tail will just shake the cow tail. If he shakes the cow tail and tells the RPG bullet to drop here, that's where it will drop. There are things that you rub on your body.
This is interesting, but we have to avoid the overlap.
Sorry,
Our people here, they give you jujus to tie on your body, which prevents bullets. That's not there. That's not there. If they give it to you, and the moment you turn your back, they will shoot you. And these are prepared by very small boys.
And those things worked.
Liberia.
Liberia. Allah endowed them.
How many people died in your presence?
My own people. I think only two people died in my presence, but after I left, that's the time when Domingo and General Jackson died.
How about Liberians?
Liberians also.
How about Liberians?
Liberians died in groves. Because they drink and use drugs.
But how about all those charms? They forgot to wear them or to rub themselves on them.
If you hear a juju is protecting you, you have to protect yourself first. If you don't protect yourself, jujus will not protect you.
All right. So, in November 1996, 7 of you, battle-hardened Gambian, how would I call them, mercenaries from Liberia?
However you say it, there is nothing wrong with it.
Thank you very much. You came to Farafenye. Tell us what happened.
When we came to Farafenye, we went there with 2 local guns. These local guns, which were manufactured by blacksmiths. Before we went, what we said was that let's try and capture the camp. That was our mission, to capture the camp. And when we went, we went through the back gate.
You had served in Farafenye?
Yes, I was in Farafenye.
So you understood the terrain?
I was taken to Farafenye on 2 occasions. The late Ndur Cham. We were all part of the engineering unit. And he liked me a lot in those days. Wherever he is going to, he will ask me to go with him. When he was being transferred to Farafenye, that's how he took me along to Farafenye until I completed my time there. Yes.
So,
when we came through the back gate, we found the sentryman smoking cigarette.
You sentryman, you are smoking.
I said to him, sentryman, you are smoking. No bullet was fired there. We don't have AK-47. We had these local guns, which weren't even good. He just threw his gun and ran away. No gun was fired at the Farafenye camp. I didn't see it there.
So they all melted.
That's how they all left the camp.
Because it's Biransen.
Because Biransen,
High Court.
He said this at the High Court.
Invincible ya dramele Biransen around 8 o'clock abe signal bunkono. Officer sola bungoto.
It was Biransen who, it was Invincible who found Biransen in the mess room and arrested him there.
Allow the interpreter to land.
And told him to sit down.
No.
He said, no.
High Court.
I myself said that at the High Court. He said to him, this man is a captain. He didn't do anything to you. Give him the respect. That's how we captured him. Because when we attacked the place, we broke the armory first. And in that armory also, apart from AK, there was only one RPG. The motors in there weren't good. We were there like that till daybreak. And we saw that there is no way to wait. Now it's daybreak. What are we going to do? And I said, now let's advance then. We took one driver. We put bullets and guns in that vehicle. We came all the way to Bobolong. That's where we met up with Peter Singate and his troop. And their shooting took place there. But nobody died there.
But in Farafenye, wasn't there a soldier who was injured?
They said soldiers died there. But I didn't see it.
Did you shoot?
No.
Well, it was 7 of you.
I took the Quran and swore. I didn't fire at Farafenye. But I fought really in Liberia.
And in Baobolong?
When we met at Baobolong, we met with Peter there, with his troop.
So
we shot each other there because it was already daylight. They dispersed so that they can try and capture us. So we were in the middle. That's how we maneuvered and went into the bush. Myself and Esa Balde, the two of us went together. We spent the night in the bush like that. They saw the others, but they didn't see us. The following day, we came back. We came and roasted some groundnuts. And one lady came and told us that soldiers were looking for people around here. Then I said, we are also looking for... That's how we crossed Bobolong and went along up to Farafenye. But it was at night. We came to the border. That's how we tried and looked for a vehicle. We crossed and went to Kaulach.
How about your weapons?
We threw all those arms away. Because in Senegal, in those days, if they see guns with you, they'll say you are gone.
You have to allow the interpreter to land. Thank you. So you escaped. But what's interesting is when you took over the camp, what did you do to the soldiers who were there?
There was no soldier. Except Biramsen, whom we captured.
All the others melted. They all ran away.
I didn't see any soldier there, God knows.
And what happened to the vehicle that you had stocked with arms and ammunition?
We maneuvered
and got into the bush. We dispersed, others went one way, and myself and Ensa, we went the other way.
Did you see anybody who was shot amongst you? Any person amongst you who was shot?
wala atolla group ko ne mo bunjele no
antola group ko ne mo bunne
Yes, someone was shot in our group.
balo bunga singoto hane bi keso ba singoto mambo
Balo was shot on the leg, and the bullet is still in his leg up to this date.
keso asingo katile
Juma?
Suleiman Sar keso asingo katile
Suleiman Sar also suffered a broken leg
You
as a
did
result of a
not
gunshot.
mention Suleiman Sar.
Iman Suleiman Sar la ko mo funu
That would make you 8.
pour wo sal kenung almost say
Okay. Yes.
then
Did all of you escape?
atol be na takanale bang
ha yalon suto kabrin ma kan keta
After the engagement in the
do
night,
fon lay modol bordan kotol
some of our people even left us
bordale
and they ran away.
os karamo jiba bordale
Because Karamo Jiba ran away,
kabiro demba maje
we did not see Kabiro Demba,
ke basa no maje
we did not see Kebasano.
ndol mo lulo do no doji
So it was only the 5 of
so
us who
balo
were
ma
left.
keso Suleiman Sarma
Sol Balo?
Balo is
Kesoyama.
Kesoyama, Suleiman Sar Kesoyama.
Okay, Suleiman Satu was shot.
then nata tawol nyama ntani Isa
So I went along with Isa,
ata ntela former wife
Esa what?
Isa Balde
Isa Balde.
So that would make you 9.
ta kam to ko atol mo konon tolon
amma Isa to vono
No.
Oh, I didn't call Isa's name.
Kabiru Demba, Ablai Sonko, Mbalo Kante, Karamo Jiba, Keba Sano, Invincible, Suleiman Sar, Esa Balde, and yourself.
ntela former wife mu Senegalese dunu
My former wife was a Senegalese,
nata fo Isa ngata woto
so I told Isa, let's go there.
yo ba kabin tata woto
But when we went there,
nga je situation no juben ka intertu no la jam
after looking at that situation there, I told him we couldn't stay here.
nata one of my brother
At that time, one of my brother,
nata wala address odin
gave me his address.
be Dakar ka fo quartier me Pikin ñaari tali lem bammal
He was in Dakar at a place called Pikin Nyaritali.
yo bot Sulema Abdoulaye Sonko e boyo men recruit no
But the boy that was recruited by Abdoulaye Sonko,
ka fa Yusufa
called Yusufa,
Yusufa Silla
Yusufa Silla,
amra ko Silla la brodalam
I think Coach Silla's brother. Yes,
amra la brodalam
I think it's his brother.
so ntol nata ta wala ya
So we went to him.
oh, sorry before nga futawoma
Even before we got
nata ta
to him,
du bajiya
we went to Dudu Baji.
nta man du baji lon ka tolong moy
I did not know Dudu Baji.
mo la matin
I only had his name, but he
kabum
was
fere ja ko nyoko atolo kay sa alhamdulillah
Kuko's man.
akonya bot fenke kana fenke Edwards ngata na jam with 12 million
He said Edward Singate came here with 12 million
ni momo yala mute bo dilal
for as a reward for anyone that captures you.
12 million what?
for 12 million
12
dollars
million
in
mo?
bank for CFA and bamalo
Whether it was Dalasi or Safer, I do not know.
yo ndol na bota wolton tata ni Yusufa ya
So we left there and went to Yusufa.
ata Yusufa ndola ko kala ngolon already
At that time, Yusufa already knew about our situation,
andu ndol man daka fanal long
and we were not also acquainted with
na
Dakar.
address on yimmen diala
The address that we gave him,
Yusufa nyol fangol suwo kono yara fa NIABG
in fact, inside Yusufa's compound, there was an NIA agent there,
In Dakar.
in Dakar fangol
inside Dakar,
charoy
in Sharoy. Yes.
on ndol bota wolton tata
So we left there and went.
bring Allah so man dambe tamala Dakar sato kon
Since morning, we are walking within Senegal,
Dakar de
just
ni Gambia fara batale
just inquiring about someone does not
mo
make
ngi ke ka kon ko kara ko hawma ko
and just does not make you find him. It's not like the Gambia.
tul
If you
tamata kabrin Allah so man dam man do mo kon ko ben
cancel, you may have to intervene here, please.
Could you allow for 3 seconds between your speech and that of the interpreters?
3 seconds sabad rumbula ining kana sor langin tema
Thank you. Rambo.
continue sign
Continue.
for ala ning kenin killing
By God's grace and one man,
nga ngi ning kan kabrin nga kayto itandala
I asked him, and when I showed him the paper,
bari o ken dum morolti
well, that man was a marabu, a big one.
nata fonye ko atul bodo mi nga explain ay
Then he asked, where are you from? And I explained to him.
then anata fonye mordol be jana bari alnata restaurant
He said to me, there is one marabout over there, but let's go to the restaurant. He took us to the restaurant and bought us food and bought us drinks. Then he gave us the direction to that place. When we got there, I said to him, we are asking for so-and-so person. And he said, I am the one. And he was not the one. He thought that we had come to do some marabu work. I said to him, do you know so-and-so person? He said, no. I said to him, then you are not the one. That route that we took, as we took a bend, the Serin Tuba's photograph was on the wall. That was the place, but we had gone past it. We went and greeted, and I showed them the paper. I said to them, we are asking for so-and-so person, and they told me, this is his story building. We went inside. We got into his room, and then we saw a very fair in complexion woman. She bleached her skin. She bleached her skin, the type that I have never seen before in my life. Behold, she was a spy. Oh God. The woman came down. Even before you talk about seconds. That time I had a Rasta hat on. Already they had described me to her already. All of this one is like this, this one is like this. And that was how we were. They grabbed us, they pounced on us, and they pounced on the marable too. I told them this man has not done nothing wrong. That was how they dragged us to their police station.
So who pounced on you?
The Senegalese NIA. They did that. But this Yusufa, he sent the message to them. That was why they captured us. When they took us to their place, the police station, they took our statements, said yes. You are in this country, we knew about your presence here, but we did not know that you were... And I told them, what is it about? They said the problem that happened in Farafenni. And I told them, we have nothing to do with it. We don't know anything about it. They said to us, look, we know everything about your activities, and there's no need for you to try to hide anything here. I said to them, well, it's true. What you have said is the truth. But now,
24 hours
give us 24 hours and we'll leave your country. What do you want to do? They said, we are repatriating you back to the Gambia. I said, well, taking us back to the Gambia, and they said yes. I said, that is not going to be an easy thing. We spend the night there.
Police commander
the morning time, I think it's the general or police commander, but it's a very high official. He came and said to us, now we are taking you to the Gambia. I said to him, brother, and he said yes. I said, but we caused a problem in the Gambia. And you have arrested us and you want to return us to the Gambia. Prince Johnson. He killed Samuel Doe. But why did he run away and took refuge in Nigeria?
Right now, I feel like a senator.
Right now, here he is, he's a senator.
In Liberia.
In Liberia. If I do something wrong in my country, and you don't like me,
24 hours,
give me 24 hours and I will leave your country. And instead of taking me back, it's not nice that way. But it's because of money. They said there was an agreement between Gambia and Senegal. I said, well, so be. Where I came from is much more difficult or hard than where you are talking about. The same one God who spared me from Liberia. And even if I return to Gambia, the same God, if he wants to spare me, he will spare me. They said, well, we are taking you.
Special flight.
They took us in a special flight. They came and picked Suleiman Sar in Kaulak. And we landed at the airport.
Which airport?
Airport Juma.
International Airport.
Our very own Bentol International Airport. As soon as I came down the stairs, Babakal Jata said to me, Dampha, what are you laughing about? I said to him, what am I laughing? I did not even answer. They took us in a vehicle.
Were you in chains?
Yes, we were cuffed. But from the airport gate, you will think it's a president to come in. The highway was thronged with people on both sides. I think they told them that we have captured the guys. That was why that large crowd came out. That was how they took us to the NIA. When they took us to the NIA, it was in the night. Where they took us in is the place they call Bambadinka. But we are stripped naked just as we were born. And we were handcuffed behind our backs. And there were many mosquitoes. Some of the soldiers will put their pistols in the holes there and threaten to shoot me. And some of them will say, some of you are lucky. If someone Sabari was here, he would have killed you. But Suleiman's injury, when they broke, they took us from there to another cell. But there too, we were still handcuffed behind our backs.
And
I think we spent about 2 days there.
Third day in Samba television.
On the third day, we were paraded before the television. We spoke. After we...
What did you say on television?
The same statement I said. What I said, yeah, the same thing, that they came, found me in my house in Tanje. They mobilized me and took me to Liberia. That was what I said on television. The same thing I am saying today.
Did you say on television that you attacked the country?
Yes.
Were you forced to say that?
At the time, you mean? No. They did not force me.
It was a plain confession.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, proceed, please.
After that, that was when the NIA started their work.
We are interested in that.
We were handcuffed behind our backs. They will sit you on the floor. The air condition is on. And whatever part of your body they are beating you on. The machine that they use to charge car batteries, that is what they use to electrocute people. They will put one on your toe, one in your ear. But when they press that, even while that air condition is on, you'll be sweating. You don't even know what is happening. And the beating is going on. The beating is going on. When they are tired, they will take you back.
Okay, tell us who in the NIA was responsible for meting out this torture on you.
Foday Bari number one.
Foday Bari number one.
Salmina Drame number two.
Salmina Drame number two.
No, we'll say that because Salmina,
Salmina,
be able to start killing.
He comes from the same place as I have come from.
Na Cordal Sulo be tema.
There's only a path between our compounds. And the day that I was arrested and I was sitting down, he said, these people, we should not waste bullets on them. We should just take them to the Bureau Reserve and throw them for the lions. I raised my head and I looked at Salmina and I bowed down again. The God who is one, Salmina came and found me in mile 2. But I did not wish that for him. But just that in this world, people should be very careful.
And who else was responsible for torturing you?
Baba Dindin Jobate was there. He was not doing the beating. God knows he did not beat me.
Was he present?
Yes, he was there sitting down.
Did he see you tortured whilst Yes,
he was sitting.
Did he stop it?
No.
Did he say anything Baba Dindin Jobate?
Now and then, if they say they want to do something, I used to hear him.
Allow the interpreter.
Now and then, when they want to do something, I used to hear him to tell them to stop. But that was not in all occasions.
Would you say that he was against your torture?
Sometimes he will refuse it, sometimes he accepts. I think sometimes when things get so very difficult for me, you feel sympathetic for me, and that's when he asks him to stop.
In fact, what you're saying is that Baba Dindin Jobate, a lawyer, former attorney general, and one-time judge, was complicit to your torture.
Baba Dindin Jobate, me alone ko ane ketal amu loyalty, amu attorney general, anu watu amu justice minister letu. Afananda benungele kabri be ibigin kuja oke kangalano.
Be tajiriya.
Bri bal tajiriya kan.
Yes, I can say that he was part of it.
That is a serious accusation. Do you know that?
Baba Dindin Jobate came and found me in prison. I will not lie against him. In fact, he's my guy. It's not worth it. Harisambu is more wicked than all of them. He's the one who lights the fire. Because each time he comes in and goes out, that's when things start getting terrible.
Why do you say that?
When Harisambu comes, wherever he got his order from, I do not know. But he comes and tell them, do not have any mercy for these people. Beat them mercilessly.
So you have mentioned 3 people as being involved in your torture. You mentioned that, correct?
Yes.
Salmina Drame.
Yes.
Baba Dindin Jobate. And now you mention Harisambu. Unprompted, you mentioned Harisambu.
Yes, I had forgotten about his name, but his name should have been the number 1.
Why do you say that?
Maybe someone else will come here who will tell you about Harisambu's deeds. I do not know what position he held at the time at the NIA, but his things, he was not an easy man.
But what do you mean by Allah position among easy? What do you mean by that?
Niko among easy. Isa ofri no bang.
You know, these other ones, when they are doing their things, they don't talk. But when he comes, he tells them to beat him. And he doesn't hide it. So you hear him say that yourself.
In a sense, you are saying that he would come and order your continuous torture.
Kamdako ite lafta min fulanya wala atekana ay kango di pour yal tajiria.
Yes.
That is a serious allegation.
Oto barangi mu tumiri balete de.
Wala fanan keta.
And that is what happened also.
You are under oath.
Ibe kalo kono.
Kalta wala fanan keta.
Did he order
an oath, and that is what happened.
Did he order your torture?
Ate kango di pour yal tajiria.
Ni ko alili.
When he says beat them up, then he gave the order. Yes.
For how many times have you been tortured at the NIA?
La yeli pa sinya jelle wala tajiria sinya jelle NIA.
Moto continue.
No one can count that. God just spared us.
How many times were you electrocuted?
Sinya jelle kurango kal bala sinya jelle la.
That is on a daily basis.
But you had already confessed.
I think they were just wicked or hard-hearted.
Were you only tortured at the NIA? Were you tortured elsewhere?
NIA da malto la do to fanan fo ya lipa nungele ma
ya ko boni nyedo man nga mure ma NIA jemambam fo.
If you would excuse me a little bit, let's return to the NIA because there are things I have not completely said. When we were in NIA, the entire time we did not have chance to wash. One day they told us, let's go so that you can take bath. I said to them, let's go. We went to the bathroom. The handcuffs were still in my hands and they told me to take a bath like that. I said, no, well then let me go back. So all the time that we spent there, all the time our hands were cuffed behind our backs. But that is also wisdom because not everybody can do it. Because when night falls, we used to remove it from the back and bring it to the front. And when day breaks, we return our hands to our backs. That is wisdom. It's easy, but I will not demonstrate that here.
No, we would want to see it. We would want to see it. But anyway, proceed. For how long were you detained at the NIA?
Later to NIA for what you
NIA during November 13.
From November 13 until January, that was when we left the NIA.
What were you doing there?
Just sheer wickedness. We are just lying on the floor. Only a few were lying on the beds.
At what stage were you return your clothes?
What kind of clothes? Talk about them bringing back racks to us. We'll get there too. I have forgotten one thing also. I swore by the Quran. What happened, I will tell. And I will not leave the path.
That is why we are here.
The time that we were at the NIA, I don't know whether they used to be angry with us or what, I don't know. The food that they gave us was small, but the food came from the army barracks.
Senior officer and
the senior officers, all of them that are in the national army, there is no one amongst them who does not know me. I'm not sitting here promoting myself. But I wasn't the type of soldier that they will normally refer to as a bad cow.
Original NIA.
Whatever was an original NIA. And that person was trained by the British. All of them knew me.
Fraser Juve because Samsar
Fraser Juve and Samsar came because Fraser Juve taught me in Samsar taught me in Pakaleva. Samsidin Sar.
Then not for Fraser Juve major.
And I told Fraser Juve, who was a major.
Major, yes.
I said to him, major, and he said yes. I said we used to eat, but not to our full. Our fill. He said, is that true? I said yes. He said, but I will tell the man in charge of the country. The following day, we used to eat until we'll throw some away.
And you were happy about that? But still, yes. You are not giving back your clothes.
Our clothes were not returned back to us.
You are still chained behind your back.
Yes,
you are still sleeping with the mosquitoes in the cell.
Yes, and we lay on the bare floor.
Were you ever given medical treatment while you were at the NIA?
Yes, doctors came there. They used to comment on.
Were you ever given the chance to speak to a lawyer?
Well, our lawyer, when we reach the stage where we talk about the court.
Between November and January, were you given the chance to speak to a lawyer?
No, it never happened.
So, is there anything else you want to tell us about your time at the NIA?
What happened to me at the NIA is what I narrated, and I think that is all of it.
Now let's go to the prison.
When we were being taken to mile 2, it was on a Wednesday. Because I remember in those days, on Wednesdays, they used to cook corned beef. But that was during Mamadou Sisse's time.
Mamadou Sisse or Mamadou Sisse?
Mamadou Sisse. I think he was a Banjulian who went to England, had a problem. He was a former Zandam officer. At the time, David Colley was not yet around. When they took us there, there was one old man there from Sukuta called Ndao who was retired. You know, at the time, mile 2, 97. The time that we were taken inside and the condition of mile 2 today are different. They are not the same. The day that we were going in there, they were only planks. Just empty planks. But they removed those planks from the room. Mosquito net and the old mosquito nets that were at the door at number 1 cell, they went and removed them to those that are at the window and at the door, so that the mosquitoes will bite us.
In 20-liter bidon,
the 20-liter gallons, it was what they cut from the top. And there was no cover. And that was where we could ease ourselves on. You know, you went on a visit to mile 2. But they never showed you a place called Kunta Kinte.
There is a place called Kunta Kinte?
There is a place they call Kunta Kinte. There is something they call Kunta Kinte. The boat that took Kunta Kinte when the iron legs that they put on Kunta Kinte when they were being taken by the Europeans.
Oh, the shackles.
Thank you. Oh, the shackles. Okay. They are there. The first time we arrived there, those were the ones that they used, they put on their feet. And their hands were cuffed. We lay on the empty floor. We were in that state, which was for 2 or 3 months.
While at the mile 2 prison, were you ever tortured?
They nearly killed us there at mile 2.
Who?
The soldiers.
My two prison officers all found.
Even the Maltu prison officers themselves.
Like who?
Come to manual.
Sefla ya jaju atele ke tambindina.
Sefla ya jaju used to lead them.
Murlamin Sise.
Murlamin Sise.
Tiana Barabuka Molip.
Tiana, but he doesn't beat people.
Who else?
And Manga Plumber.
And the Manga Plumber.
There's two Manga there, but Nico Manga Plumber, everybody know him.
There were two Mangas, but if you call the name Manga Plumber, everybody knew him. These were his torturers.
Every day, every week.
If we were not beaten every day, be rest assured that every week they were going to come to beat us up. And when he comes, he will tell us, human thinkers, you have come to destroy this country. This was the thing he constantly said until he had a problem with Sana Sabale.
Who was that?
Yaya Jaju.
Yaya Jaju.
Sefla.
Why were you beaten?
I don't know the reason. But by God's grace, anywhere you go to in this world, there are always good people.
Were they torturing you because they wanted to punish you, or were they torturing you at the behest of somebody else?
For saying kabri batol lipakai bal lipakan ko laftal kulula lebang wala mola ya marola atne bal lipaka
yinkai tulukan tulli paradro ngamre mendiate kadumba foronya.
Well, I can only say that they were just beating us up to please themselves.
How many times were you beaten in mile 2?
Nobody can count that, my brother. I said for 2 years we were in shackles.
Complete 2 years.
Complete 2 years we were on shackles. Our feet were shackled.
Interior Minister.
When Usman Baji was appointed as Interior Minister, when he came for the visit, that was when those shackles were taken off our feet.
97 at 498 November.
From 97 to November 98, the shackles were on our feet. We lie down with them and we wake up with them on.
For 2 years?
Complete 2 years, yes.
Complete 2 years, yes.
Nearly 2 years.
Nearly 2 years.
I want you to run us through some of the torture sessions you went through at Mile 2.
Sina laftale puriyan samba ka tandi moli in liparisi fa nyadi le kalda Mile 2.
Yalon na court wato.
During our court time,
prison officers so like to samba court.
We were usually taken by prison officers.
Andola court wato ni court begala.
But at that time, when the court is on,
school didn't book at Akaramoro for intelligent.
The students never usually not go to school because they always wanted to see us. Because this was something that they never saw before. Torn shirts. Oh, shorts. We had no shoes on our feet. And the chains were clinging on each other and making noise. And that was how we went into until we took the witness box. They never took that from our feet. And when they are taking us, they used to take us in a truck.
Like a truck on you landile.
They will park the truck under the sun until around 4.
When
the court comes to an end, when we get into the vehicle, they will tell us to lie down on the vehicle like that. We lie flat on our bellies. And the heat used to burn our bellies until we get to Mile 2. When you get to Mile 2 and you alight, before we get into confinement, you'll be slapped and kicked until you get into the cell. We were in that state until our court came to an end. There has never been any day that we went to court and we were not beaten.
Could you identify those that participated in torturing you?
One I can recall at that time.
Jakai, wala mula kebati.
Jaguide. He was
Did
their
you
leader.
say Jaguide?
Wala mula kebati.
Yes, he was their leader.
Special role dia nuata abanunje.
He was issued a special vehicle at the time. He was the one there.
How did he torture you, Jaguide?
Atabuka molipa.
He does not beat anyone.
Ratele muje commander.
But he was a commander there.
Liparo begala kataraje, afang kataraje.
And when the beating sessions were going on, he was always present, but he does not touch anyone.
Did he have any authority to stop it?
Kango ba bijele me alonko wasate lodino pray akana wokur ke ka.
Asake no barabukaf.
Yes, he could have done so, but he never said it.
Would you say that he was an accomplice to your torture?
For example, for atele at ni Allah tajiri be mike kan atele be o beta mandika.
Didn't ni didn't be moli pala ke ba be jaman fem fa ke ba da be.
Well, if you see a child beating someone and an elderly person is present and that person says nothing, it means that elderly person too is part of what is happening.
So tell us who tortured you in the presence of Jaguide.
Na fo moli juman lelipa Jaguide nyala.
Yala ngutuman temang sojaro long.
You know, at the time I did not know the soldiers.
I don't
think I know anyone amongst them at the time.
Pamodu Khan.
Amodu Khan, a very hefty guy, tall guy. He used to beat people until he will tear their shirts. Amodu Khan.
Which service did he belong to?
Deboda kanto bunda juma.
Amodu Malatebek section jumaledi.
I don't know what section he belonged to.
Prison, army, NIA, or police?
Soldier. He was a soldier.
Anyone said if I say captain now, and not a belly India Bakao.
And one said
I think it's from Sedify.
Sedify.
They say he's a captain now. Not a found belly India New Kambakao.
We did our childhood together with him in Bakao Kachikali. One Defa.
As a Fanamu torturer Balti.
He too was a big torturer. And they say now that he's a captain.
Tell us why you say he was a big torturer.
I saw him with my own eyes beating people. He beat me myself. Yes.
So you have mentioned two people who have beaten you.
Yes.
Wandifa. Amodu Khan. And you said the other torturers were Sefla Yaya Jaju, Modulamin Sise. You said Tiana did not participate.
No, Tiana that
Manga Plumber, he participated. Jaguide would be there, but he would not say anything. He also was a complicit to your torture. That's what you said.
Yes.
Who else participated in torturing you?
I think these are the only ones I know.
I will not ask you about the conditions at Mile 2 prisons because we have received a lot of evidence on that.
My tutor nyabe nyamin tete nyini kala wala because ngasidia jamali to wala kola.
Along tolbe je waro menna.
You know when we were there,
Mile 2 manko ko Mile 2.
That time Mile 2 was not like Mile 2.
Was otumahani media and babar jaro lebiji.
That time even in the media you had only planks of wood.
Tolla kairo soto keta waro menti.
When we had some peace was when
some reprieve.
Some reprieve was
Deputy Commissioner Jobate.
When the Deputy Commissioner Jobate, he was someone who was very, very sympathetic, but he was moved to the para.
David Koto.
He was under David. Because Caesar did not spend a long time there.
Complete 6 months.
Because our stay there for complete 6 months. We went there in January. And everybody knows that in the month of January is usually cold in the Gambia. But when we asked Yaya for blankets which we'll use to cover ourselves, he used to tell us that the financial year has not yet come, and until that time comes, they cannot provide blankets for us.
But Allah de Moroccan.
But through the help of God,
you better not come to Mela Balafasura, Ataka Managla Fata Rambajos Fintin Mola dinner, but after 6 months.
Jobate was someone who was sympathetic to us, and he tried and was able to secure some blankets for us. But that was only after 6 months.
When was the first time you were allowed to see a lawyer?
Before we could see a lawyer,
International Red Cross
we met with the International Red Cross, and that was the first time that we started to get reprieve.
Prison.
Because when they come to the prison, there was usually no officer. And you sit with them and have a discussion.
And you can write later.
And you can also write a letter. And when you write a letter, they will take it to David Colley and he will look at it. And then they will take it to your family.
Still we are alive.
That was the time that some of us, some families of some of the inmates knew that they were still alive.
When was the first time you met a lawyer?
Tolla lawyer jewo nyinata watola de banna lawyer mu for Robin Soklem Bamalo.
I forgot the time.
Raymond Sok.
I forgot the time, but our lawyer was Raymond Sok.
Amate, the late Amate.
And the late Amate.
Government lawyers.
They were our first lawyers, but those were government lawyers.
You did not personally hire them directly?
No, we were given them by government.
Through the legal aid scheme?
Legal aid
scheme. Yes.
Did you plead guilty or you pleaded not guilty?
We did not.
But you pleaded, you confessed on national television that you did it.
One can accept over television, but when you go to court,
I meant for maybe a manka.
The court may also be able to come to the conclusion that perhaps what he said was not through his own will.
But in any case, you were convicted?
Yes,
sentenced to death.
Death sentence.
We are sentenced to death.
And this was in 1997?
And 1997.
Yes,
for how
97.
many years did you serve?
I'm 19 years, 4 9 months, I wrote 19 years, 3 months.
I think it's 19 years, 9 months, or 19 years, 3 months.
And what happened? How did you come to be released?
In 2015, the pardon he extended.
The general pardon, July 22nd, was it?
General pardon, yes. We were amongst those that were pardoned.
While serving your sentence, were you ever tortured?
Yes. The way mile 2 is, I will appeal if the government should be able to do it. And we have been saying this for a long time.
Ex-prisoner.
The ex-prisoners,
deputy director.
even if one of the ex-prisoner is not the director, but the deputy director,
Mile 2
will change.
Prison officers will be mile 2.
For the prison officer that are at mile 2, they cannot change mile 2 council. Because I can recall, many people stand here,
especially director,
especially the current director,
number 5 cell,
that he said that number 5 cell,
99 cell
there were 99 cells. That is not there.
12 years like number 1.
I spent 12 years in number 1.
Not 7 years like number 5.
I spent 7 years in number 5.
Months.
And some months.
Number 5, 90 cells.
Number 5 is 90 cells.
row nan lebeji.
There are 4 rows.
You have first row.
First row,
26 cells lebeji.
26 cells are there.
Center row.
Center row,
24 cells lebeji.
24 cells are there. Kampama end,
28 lebeji.
28 are there.
VIP.
12
lebeji.
12 are there.
Yo kafunyuma is 90.
If you put that all together, it's 90.
They also have VIP?
Yes.
VIP
VIP, that was where we were.
Because of molo ni obe bunda to straight ni dunda olel katara on your left.
That is by the door. As you get inside, that's the ones on the left.
What makes it so special to earn the accolade VIP?
VIP.
Number 5.
If you hear that an important person has come to number 5, that is where the person goes to. That's where they take you to.
That's where they take the people like Rambo?
Khalifa
Even Khalifa Saleh was there.
Which Khalifa Saleh?
Khalifa Saleh kill him.
The same one, Khalifa Saleh.
Ahmad Baba number 4. Telling Ojel Benu number 1.
Ahmad Baba was number 4.
Number 1.
I was in number 4. Ojel was number 4.
I heard there was a who is who in Mile 2 prison. You can have an entire cabinet. Except for the president in Mile 2.
Other than the president,
Minister of Justice, the Chief Justice.
The Minister of Justice was in prison, the Chief Justice was in prison. While I was there, the only person I did not see,
fire service and custom.
That was members of the fire service and the customs. Other than that, all others were imprisoned.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, for the questions.
Final question is, you mentioned that there were many Gambians who had senior positions in various factions in Liberia. Including Kukoi himself. Do you know how they came to Liberia and how they became so powerful there?
Liberia Kukoining Charles Selo Bele Bodnanu Liberia.
Libya. You know Maktaba. Kukoi and Charles Selo both came from Libya.
So it only not Nyola.
They came together. But don't judge him by what I'm saying. He's a very smart individual. The fighting in Liberia or the war, half of it was controlled by him. And Charles Taylor is someone who we know that he's not like these other leaders to push other people's children in and stay behind. Charles Taylor will carry his AK himself. And he goes to the battlefront himself.
Because jet fighter left Afara.
We stopped him ourselves because he was the jet fighters wanted to kill him. That was why we told him to stop going, because he was not like others who would give orders and then stay behind.
Thank you, and sorry for what you went through.
Mike. My apologies. When you went to Liberia with other Gambians, Yaya Jammeh was not in power in the Gambia. What was it that motivated you young guys to be involved in overthrowing governments, literally causing mayhem in the sub-region, whether or not all of you started your activities in Libya or not? Sankoh, Rawlings, Taylor, you name it, for the Sankoh. A lot of problems in the region.
Mune ya sabu altol da narna bulanyin ku jawsi falto katara ku jaw keola na intundo kanjang ka tajire yal ke dukiral to men al kafuda mola men kamunta Sankara Rollins aning Foday Sankoh.
What was the motivating factor?
Mune Muhammad kuwaldi membe kuwenyin koto. mune alhamendi ka bula ko nyin kono
baraka bake.
Thank you very much.
Ba commence le Liberia la.
I'll start off from Liberia.
Yeah man. Liberia mbankulo de melan ko ayir wata de.
Liberia is a very blessed country.
Liberia 13 counties in Liberia.
There are 13 counties in Liberia. And I traversed all of them.
Iron ore.
If you talk about iron ore,
Liberia.
It's in Liberia. And if you look at the car tires, you'll see Firestone written on them.
Firestone Liberia.
Firestone is in Liberia.
The largest rubber plantation in this world is in Liberia.
The largest rubber plantation in this world is in Liberia.
Liberia.
If you come to the side of diamond, it's in Liberia.
Africa
Europeans used to come to capture Africans since time immemorial, and we have continuously remained in that situation, suffering and just been wasted. I can tell you one thing about Liberia. The way I know Liberia, even the citizens of Liberia don't know much about that country. And my going to Liberia, maybe I can seek forgiveness from Gambians. But today, if someone tells me go and rescue Liberians from suffering, I'll do it. I want you to listen to me carefully, sir. Liberia is for all. There's only one highway.
From Bon County, Ganta.
From Bon County, Ganta.
Ata Morovia.
Going up to Monrovia.
From Morovia.
From Monrovia.
Ta Bichama.
Going to Bichama.
Liberia
Liberia is all gravel road.
And Liberia is a rich country.
And Liberia is a rich country. So where is the resources going to? They will not allow Charles Taylor to be in Liberia. This question is pleasing to me. Let us be wise as Africans. The reason why they will not allow Charles Taylor to stay in Liberia,
iron ore.
The iron ore of Liberia,
100 years he already signed.
They said they signed a 100-year.
Iron ore abe konkomento bangu sabala soto.
Yeah, the 100-year lease, and it is found in 3 mountains. It's in Kepa.
Guinea Conakry has it.
Guinea Conakry has it.
Ivory Coast has it.
Ivory Coast has it. Liberia has it. The mountain. Someone can climb up. But every year, fire breaks from the top there, and nobody knows how the fire starts. That's Liberia mining it. The other countries have not mined.
But I remember Liberian all kang.
The suffering that is on the people of Liberia. Who can take that off Liberia? Or will Liberians remain in this situation? And they have everything. But the white people are fooling them. When Charles Taylor was in power, he controlled Firestone. What was he doing there?
1,000 JJ.
When they used to pay you 1,000 JJ, because we use 2 currencies there. Our money is JJ. The one in Monrovia is Liberty. So those who worked at Firestone,
package of 1,000.
if they were paid 1,000,
500 will be US.
500 would be
500
US.
JJ.
500 JJ.
I will introduce Nunjele.
He introduced that there. Europeans will not like this. War is not good. But war too makes other places. Africans, let's rise up and do something about our situation. There's nothing in the Gambia, but Gambia is more developed than Liberia. There's nothing in Liberia which I can admire. And whatever you think of, Liberia has it. Why was it that during the course of the war, they did not do the court, the trials in Liberia and the Australian? This lady that's just left the presidency. She worked under you. She was at the UN. I read a little bit about her. Very headstrong woman. Samuel Doe disturbed her a lot. He locked her several times. And she was even supporting Charles Taylor then. That was why if they want to trial Charles Taylor about Liberian affairs, they realized that if they want to use that, many people will be involved. And that was why they took it to Sierra Leone. Africans, let's open our eyes. All our lives we live in poverty when in fact we have everything that we need. I think those people ought to fight to achieve their peace.
They took Taylor to Sierra Leone. It's no longer a secret that the Sierra Leone, Tijan Kaba and Ellen Johnson Sirleaf were persuading the powers that be to move Taylor from the region, from the sub-region West Africa, from Sierra Leone to Liberia, to The Hague. I don't want to get into the thing. The council is very much aware of what really happened in that area.